Well, hello, commanders, engineers, and city planners. Uncle Jay here. We are back in City Skylines, the city of burnt bean juice, and we're gonna leave off where we last left off. We're gonna start where we last left off. Oh boy, maybe I need another cup of burnt bean juice. So we were working on the rail yard, the passenger line, and I think I need to make a few changes. I didn't figure out how to do the detailing stuff yet for the shipping containers and that fence. I've been busy space trucking. In fact, I was going to do some American trucking simulator instead of this, but you know what? Let's do this instead. I'm in the mood. Okay, this train has 6 passengers on it. I guess that doesn't count as a ghost train, but you know, ghost things are a thing in this game. So here is, I believe this is the bypass line right here. Comes down here and then here. So how do we get this line over yonder? And all 3 rail lines. I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to shorten this one up. But if I do that, I'm afraid that these guys are going to disappear on us. So I kind of really don't want to do that. But all 3 of these lines need to be able to go in the opposite direction. So how do we cheat that? Do we cheat it and we just kind of do an underground tunnel to get it to go the other way? Or do we do something a little bit more realistic? I think let's go with realistic because I want this to be a detailed and fun playthrough. Not that I'm very exciting when I do these playthroughs with City Skylines. It's not like we're going all willy-nilly like we do in our spaceship. Let's delete these. And let's give ourselves as much room as possible. So I want to bring that here. I want to bring this here. And I think doing it this way, instead of doing a curve, let's come out a little bit more. I think doing it that way looks more realistic than the curve. And because the trains are going to be going a slow speed, having these closer to the station makes sense. And now I'm going to take this and I want to come through here. And this is our bypass line. So we need to get to this line over here. Since this is already a bridge, we can't go over. And come in here, we could do a turn and get it under here. But then we would have to do a double crossover, which, you know, is not unrealistic in the real world, but for the sake of the game running smoothly, I think we're going to have to do a little Okay, commanders, let's come back in here, and we have our outside rail connection. We have our line that comes through next to this lake. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this lake or not, but we now have connection in here. So here is our bypass for the rail yard, and the rail yard is connected. So I'm going to be honest, I'm not crazy about it. I am really not crazy about it. I feel like this connection should be, let's grab it, should be out over here. But maybe if we, yeah, you know what? We're going to fix this again because I'm just not happy with it. If I'm not happy with it, you guys aren't going to be happy with it. We are all not happy with it. I think the solution is to completely move this completely farther back. I think that's what we need to do. See, we still need a crossover. Because a passenger train, you're not going to stop and then back up like you would with a cargo train. So do we add a loop in? A loop would look janky. Wouldn't it? A loop would look janky. So how about we come up with... I have an idea. Let's just bring this out right here, right now. How are we with pillars? All right, let's grab our leveling tool, bring our brush down. This is a little bit lower than everything else, right? Let's just go ahead and do that. Is that a little bit lower than everything else? Yes, it is. Just that little bit can make a difference. All right, so we want this to be... Let's split the difference right here. Right? All right, so let's bring this back right here because this is a curve. We can connect into that curve. We're going to make this right here so it's a nice, so that looks nice and nice. That's nice and nice. And then we can connect these two right here. In fact, I think we can come back just a little bit more with that one. Let's bring this out here. And now we can have our curve. And that should clear the pole. Beautiful. Beautiful. That just looks so much better. That looks so much better. So how do we fix... How do we fix this? 70 yards. Why not? Let's go with 70 and 70. Okay, so the other one's not even. It's going to bother me. The train doesn't need to be going fast at this point. It's slowing down. It's getting ready to come into the yard. They're decelerating and all that fun stuff. I mean, this little straight section kind of really messes it up. Oh, yeah, it does kind of really mess it up, doesn't it, guys? You know what? We can grab move it and we can just kind of... We can fudge it a little bit. And then we can fudge that a little bit. We can fudge that a little bit. You know what? I'm okay with that. No, we don't want the budget tool. Okay. Or do we offset this so it comes this way? Do we offset the curve? You know what? That is a good question. I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's do this. Let's grab our slope train. Let's slope from here. Or no, let's slope from here. I think that might be a little bit more realistic of a slope. Let's do this. Because, you know, we want a proper grade. Then I can also fix this corner if it's a little too steep or too roundy. Too roundy? Okay, I think it's been a good another half hour, 40 minutes. I've been fighting with this. And what is going on over here? You know what? We're going to ignore it. We are going to ignore it. Let's come back over. It looks like we're having a death wave. I've been completely ignoring the rest of the city while I've been doing this. That looks important, but we're going to ignore it. So we have our curve here past the lake, nice sweeping bypass. Come back in. I think I've done like maybe 6 different designs so far. And I think this one, I mean, I'm really not happy with the tightness of this bend, but nothing else seems to look right. Like the lazy teardrop doesn't look right. I mean, like all this, I want to keep this nice and tight. This probably could be out here, and that could probably be out here one more. You know what? I'm not going to change it again. Right now, I'm trying to get the grades for all this sorted out. But I want to show you guys something, right? I'm trying to get this to lower a little bit, right? I click on here. No, not that one. It's this one. Watch this. How does that make sense, Move It? Please tell me. How does that make sense? In what world does that make sense? I don't get it. Now, if I click on it this way, I can lower that one. If I click on it this way, I can lower that. I don't understand. I really don't. And that does clear the bridge, but we got some tearing here, so we need to fix this tearing. Maybe that might be because of this. Will that take care of that tearing? I think it did. Like these should be at the same level. I don't know why that one is so much higher. Let's bring that down. And where is the other node? Right here. And then let's bring this down right there. It has to be perfect for me. That's the way it is. Now this did go straight into here, but it just didn't look right. So we're now going to come in here. And that is so janky. Let's bring this back some more. And I think this should fix our problem. So if I prioritize this one first, maybe. Let's come here. All right, let's do that. And you guys, I gave up on this, even though I really, really like that. Now, what if I come off here? That's not going to look right either. All right, let's bring that one back. It's just one of those curves that are just kind of... For it to look right, I think here. And then I can... It still doesn't look right. It just has this curve to it that just... It's just not pleasing to my eyes. I don't know how else to describe it. I think we're going to call that good. Now, you may have noticed I started putting in a road right here for detail. I'm going to finish the rest of this off camera. I'm not going to put you guys through it, but there is one more thing I want to do. I feel like this needs some detail. I think this needs some more detail. I'm going to grab the Move It right now. I want to bring this here. I want to bring this here. Go back to the trains, and I'm going to update this one this way because I feel like there should be like some kind of service road kind of a thing going on. I'm going to go ahead and bring our brush size down and let me take care of this real quick. Not that far. Let's take off the snapping, and we're going to need to use Anarchy. Yes, we can. I just feel like there needs to be some way for like the service people to kind of come down and do this. I just kind of wish it was the same color. And what in the Sam hell? Okay, let's go back to move it. How do I fix this? This one maybe? No. This one? No. You know what? Let's just not look too close, because you know what? We might completely change this up again. So let's just grab the right tool. Let's just come back in. Like so. And why is that not coming up? Is that the extent of that wall? That wall doesn't come all the way up? Alright. There goes that idea. I'll have to mess with it later. Alright. Now I think we need to add in another line. Right? We can add another line in now. So let's go to our passenger. We're going to click on this one. And hopefully we have a path over here. We do. All right, let's come back over. I want to see what pathing it takes. It comes here. It's using the bypass. Using the bypass. All right. And there we go. Everything works. So now we can move people into the city and hopefully take care of some future car traffic. In fact, this rail should probably use that terminal, but you know what? That's okay, because there's a switch right here. 57. Look, they're already using it. Check that out. How many people are on this rail? 12. Not a lot of people using the passenger train. I don't think we really need a bus terminal, but we're just going to leave it there. I really want to get Metro in. In fact, how much points do we have? We need... Oh, we do have Subway. Okay, Commanders. It's been about almost 2 hours, I think, since you last saw me. I've done a pre-edit. I've had lunch. And we have our second cup of burnt bean juice with some hot chocolate. And there is a sound problem going on with this game. I've had to turn the volume down again. And I have to cut the volume way down in editing. I just don't know why the music's always so loud. I mean, we have it way turned down here, and I have it way turned down in the options menu. I don't get it. But I had to reload the game again, because when I hit continue, it brought me back to a save that this line wasn't connected. And none of this was done in. I cannot see at all whatsoever. I am completely blind as a bat. But I edited it down about an hour and a half of video down to 20 minutes. So now we have time. Hello, airplane. We can get some Subway in, guys. We can get some Subway in. I don't know if I should leave this bus station here. We could make this a transit hub. I hate to delete it because we're going to lose money, but you know what? I think it's just going to go. Let's just get rid of it for right now. Let's get some Subway in. I'm going to start planning for Subway. I don't know if I'm going to do trolley. We should also get rid of this and have these some underground connections. That means I'd have to completely redo this intersection, and then this intersection. They would make them more of highway on and off ramps than they would intersections. Should we do that right now? Or should we save that for off camera or another episode? And then make this a pedestrian, 2 pedestrian roads. And have those underground. If doing tunnels weren't so hard in this game, I wouldn't think twice about doing it. If tunnels were not so completely janky. And the game is frozen, we have to wait for it to settle. The longer the game runs, the less it freezes. Why? I don't know. See, I want it all to kind of match. I want it all to kind of fit in like it belongs. I don't want just stuff like haphazard all over the place. And I want this to be reserved for a bigger power station. Okay, I think I just had to do another edit. There was some cursing and I was just fighting with some stuff. I'm missing a mod. The mod I used for the custom decals and all that stuff and the fences is completely missing. I don't know why it's missing. I updated Skeevy to the new dashboard and hit the button to fix stuff, and apparently it's fixed mods right out of my library. So I really would like this to kind of go this way. I think it would kind of give more character. But here's the thing, if I put it this way, okay, I just had to do another edit. I had a phone call and I was fighting with some stuff. I might have to do a service in a little bit. So here's the thing. I really would like it to go this way. I kind of feel like that might flow better in with the train yard, kind of like offset the tracks one way and offset the tracks. Of course, you guys really can't see on camera. Just don't mind my hand movements. But this would make it easier to connect the subway underneath. But that would also match with the train lines going this way. I'm not sure, to tell you the truth, which way would be better. I mean, I'm really liking this. You know what? I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go this way. I mean, I can always change it. We can always change it. We can always change it. We can always change it. I mean, I must have changed this at least 8 times. And I think I'm going to change it again off camera. I guess I'm just really picky, you know? I guess it's a good thing that, you know, we don't have no controller and the other thing because, I mean, I spent a lot of time nitpicking with everything, getting everything lined up, the grades and whatnot. That's how I am when it comes to the train lines. In fact, I recently just sold all my N scale train stuff because I just can't see anymore. Okay, so I'm thinking we need room. I put it here, right? That'll give us room both ways to go underground. Yes, that will give us both ways to go underground. So we need to... You know what? Let me, let me sort this real quick. You know, this would be really easier on myself if I really did put it over here. It really would. All right, let's hit pause right now and let's see what we can get. Underground subway station, overground, small overground, elevated, small elevated, underground station. I thought we had fancy stations where we had cross stations. I thought there was more subway stations than this. Overground. I thought we had more stations than this. I really did. Because we would want this station to be on this side right here, which means we could have left the bus terminal in there. But at the same time, could do a pedestrian bridge going over top. All right, let's put this here, right? For the sake of putting that there. Let's lay out some stations real quick. This is... I feel like maybe if I can sink this down underground, And I could put a trolley in here going through the center of town with nice greenery. So let's not put the subway there. Okay, it seems that I have run out of time and I've had to re-record this again. I just kind of threw this together for right now. I'm not happy with it. In fact, I might clean this up a little bit right now. Just clean this up right now until we know exactly what's going to happen and what's going to go on. Let's just clean that up. And let's get a screenshot. Maybe this will be our screenshot for the episode. I don't know why the screen is so dark all of a sudden. I really don't, but I think that kind of encompasses everything in the episode, both rail yard, subway, and all that fun stuff. The only thing we need to do right now, and yes, I changed the position of this again, and yeah, I keep changing things. I'm just not happy with them. But we need to get a subway line in, so let's go ahead and let's do that. I don't know which one's the outside, which one's the inside. Okay, so that's the outside, which means we want that side, and we want this side. And like I said, I'd rather do this and keep the buses off the road, and that will help with traffic, keep the traffic to the cars, and a little jump there. Go ahead and do that, and let's go ahead and do that. All right, and then let's go to our line overview, kind of see what we got going on. Upgrades, maintenance hall. Okay, where are our lines? Let's go to transportation, subway, one train. I think maybe there could be 2 trains, but 1 train is fine. Let's change this color. What do we want? Let's go with yellow. No, let's go with dark blue. I think what we need to do is we need to go into our transportation right now, into our budget, and services. Let's go down here. Let's drop this down to 80% right now until we get more people in our city and whatnot. I think we need to be smart about our budget. You know, we do have plenty of money. We are growing. And okay, I think that's about as much time as we have. I'm going to get this edited up, get it up, and I will see you next time, commanders, engineers, and city planners. This is Uncle Jay.